Our inspirational reading today is taken from 365 Science of Mind, a year of daily wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And at the very beginning of the month of November, there is a synopsis of short quotes that I would like to read. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. And that's from Ernest Holmes. There is something in this attitude of thanksgiving that carries us beyond the field of doubt into one of perfect faith and acceptance, receptivity, realization. Again, that's Ernest Holmes. I awoke this morning with devout thanksgiving for my friends, the old and the new. Shall I not call God the beautiful, who daily showeth himself so to me in his gifts? That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. All of creation is a song of praise to God. And that's from Hildegard of Bingen. If the only prayer you say in your entire life is thank you, that would suffice. That's from Master Eckhart. Thank you all for those quotes. And now a person that I have the privilege of knowing, who is speaking today. She's been with the teaching of the Inner Christ at least since 1993, when she took her first inner sensitivity class. She's virtually taken every single class over again, perhaps many times. And she even got all the way up to our ministerial. She's a minister in my mind and heart. She's also recently graduated from her work experience, which some people call retired. And it's a joyous occasion. It's a joyous occasion for me to introduce a beautiful human being, a very spiritual person, and just a general love. She's going to be speaking on recognizing the power of giving thanks. Please welcome with me, Cathryne Bruce Johnson.
Recognizing the power of giving thanks. What a great subject to explore. And here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ, for the entire month of November of 2022, we are looking at our thank you note to God. I love the quotes we just heard about giving thanks. Words of thanks are a daily prayer. Every time we give thanks, it's a prayer. How true that is. Well, in recognizing the power of giving thanks, I'd like to bring up the notion that shift happens. Now, this is a play of words, maybe something not quite so quite polite, but when we recognize the power of giving thanks, the power of giving thanks is that it does create shift. It creates a shifting up. And this can be, in many forms, a very deep healing. One of the things we learn, sort of in the metaphysical world, is my word is my wand. I think that might be from the Fillmore group. But giving thanks is a powerful wand. If you think about a wand, it's an instrument of power, which we hold and we direct. So we direct an incredible amount of power when we give thanks. And I notice that giving thanks, part of the power of giving thanks is that it connects us to Source. Have you ever had a bad day?
Mm-hmm.
You know, have you had that time you woke up maybe in a bad mood, you heard something disturbing on the news, somebody said something to you in the wrong way? That has happened to me. But if I can find the place where I can be thankful, I can give thanks. Well, things are happening in the world. I have everything I need right here and now. Look at this beautiful day. You know, what a great cup of coffee. You know, whatever that is. Just shifting up to giving thanks can change everything for us. You know, there are a lot of things going on in the world right now. And I think there's a lot of light. There's a lot of light in the world. And light is like a spoon. It goes into the giant soup pot and it stirs it up and all kinds of things come up. And we might be disturbed by this. But it's in the revealing of these things. We can give thanks for that. Let's give thanks for the things that might be disturbing or might be an opportunity for us to grow or to expand or to address, because a lot of that's coming up now. And the power of thanks transforms. It also connects us to Source. Have you ever felt like you've been out on a limb just withering on the vine? Disconnected from our good everywhere around us? You know, sometimes people go through things called naval depression or having a tough time. It's feeling disconnected and withering on the vine. But when we start doing a rampage of gratitude, start looking for things to be thankful about, we're actually connecting to Source. We are, for me, when I start giving thanks, and I'll give you an example. I went for a walk yesterday. I'm retired. I'm very thankful for my nearly 37 years career. There's a lot of processing in that, a lot to be thankful for. And I'm also thankful for this new phase of my life. You know, I'm going to start taking care of myself, walking, taking care of my physicality. You know, now that this time, this time is mine, so to speak. It's always been mine, but now I can restructure it in a way to nurture myself. Give thanks for my healthy body. And I was walking yesterday and it felt so good to move. I haven't been walking for a long time. It felt so good to be in the air, the sun, hearing the birds. I was by the water and I could hear the water lapping on the shore. And I realized as I was feeling these feelings of gratitude, giving thanks for this day, I felt an energy, almost a vortex in my heart space. This is how I experience it. Because giving thanks is connecting to Source. It's connecting to life. And I could feel that start in my heart. And I could feel it expand through my body. And I could feel my body feel stronger. Oh, my posture kind of adjusted. I was smiling at everyone. And my heart felt so full. And as that vortex of light and love, that connection, began to enlarge, I could feel it expanding. And I'm thinking, yes, this sap of life is not only flowing through me, feeding me, but I'm expanding it out to everyone around me. And I just could feel as if this vortex of light was going ahead of me, clearing the way, sweeping the obstacles out, and clearing a space for my good. It's such an example of many things that have happened that I've experienced lately, and all around the power of giving thanks. So I also have lost some items that I cared for piece of jewelry. You may not be able to see that, but I'm wearing a beautiful amber piece. It's a necklace and earrings and in silver. They're handcrafted. I had worn it for quite a long time, and a little earlier, maybe a few days ago, I went and took out my beautiful amber jewelry, excited to wear it, and lo and behold, one earring.
Oh, no.
And I can't go to a store and buy it. There's a story behind this I'll share with you. And I thought, okay, I did look for it, and I had a time situation, and I thought, I'm just going to say, thank you, God. I'll wear the necklace, and I know nothing's lost in God. I'm going to find this. But then I thought about this particular piece of jewelry. My husband and I have been married 40 years now, and early in our marriage, we're just so in love and so young, and whenever we, at the beginning of the month, we bought our goodies first, then we paid our bills. Sometimes we didn't always have enough to pay the bills, or sometimes we paid all the bills and we had beans for the rest of the month, it was okay. And one of the goodies, it was in November, we were walking in a mall, there was a kiosk, this beautiful jewelry was displayed, handmade, silver with the amber, and I, just looked at my husband and said, honey, it's so beautiful, and couldn't you get it for me for early Christmas? And he just laughed. I said, we could get it for me for early Christmas. So we did purchase it, and it meant so much. And I was thinking how grateful I was at the time, how just that feeling of being so in love with my husband, being, fairly newly married, and that joy of having this beautiful piece and how much I've enjoyed it for so many years since. So you can see I've been building up this feeling. I was so grateful for that experience. And then the remembering of what it meant to get this. And I felt that vortex of light in my heart. I felt that energy in my body. I felt the smile on my face, that lifting. And I knew the power of giving thanks was at work here. And I said, that earring is coming back. That it'll show up. And I didn't worry about it. Well, 1 or 2 days later, there it was on the floor, kind of camouflaged in a corner, and I'm wearing both pairs today.
All right.
So, that is a prayer demonstration, but it's also a demonstration of another way to use the power of things. When we are using our power of giving thanks, we are connecting to Source. We are connecting to the things we desire and what we want. I had a situation where there was a bit of discord that I experienced with a friend of mine. And it was, I knew my friend was upset at me. I knew there was a misunderstanding. I felt bad. I could tell she felt bad. And I was out of town, and it was, so we were texting, and I just decided, I felt like I need to clear it up. Because I treasure my friend, and I didn't like this feeling of separation. So I started with, in this text to her, how much I appreciated her. And she was taking care of my cats while I was out of town. And I was telling her, thank you so much for taking care of my kitties. I really appreciated everything. I'm so sorry that this thing happened. I just want you to know, I really appreciate everything that you did. And it kind of feels to me like maybe you're still upset. If you are, could you please, contact me. I want to clear it up. I'm here for you if you need to talk about anything. And then I thought about, so that felt good. And I thought, as I was thinking about it, and I was really ruminating on just the wonderful things I share with this friend, came to me, I'm asking her to be honest, but I wasn't being honest about what my feelings were about our transaction. You could hear from my voice, I was a little upset because I heard a tone of voice that hurt my feelings. So I wrote another text saying, again, the Thanksgiving, and just very honestly, I said, I just want you to know, when I heard this, like, it sounds like you're upset, and I just feel it, my feelings are hurt. I didn't expect this, so on and so forth. And in that whole text, in giving thanks, I resolved it right in that text. If you've ever looked at Byron Katie and the work, it was sort of like that process just happened in this text, where I turned everything around and I said, all I really know is that I want you, and I want to be free to enjoy each other and to enjoy the things we do together, and I love you very much. But it started with the giving thanks, because that giving thanks connects us to Source. The giving thanks, the power of giving thanks is that it connects us to love, which is the only power, which bridges everything. And sometimes if we go to thanks, it will open us up to the other good. So there seems like small things, but they're powerful. And when we give thanks, we get to be more honest with ourselves. That's what I found. Being really honest with how I'm feeling versus putting on a happy face. This may not be everybody's issue, but I've had a lot of investment on putting on a happy face and being a positive influence. It means a lot to me, but I want to do it at a deeper level now, and giving thanks for my truth, giving thanks for being able to express my truth in a loving way, was a very powerful experience for me, and something that any of us could tune into. The power of thanks opens these doors in an incredible manner in so many things. Another thing I want to share with you is, this retirement thing. Huge shift for me. Shift happens, shifting up. I think I started, talking about it. I postponed it for 3 months or something like that, because of different circumstances and because I wasn't ready to let go. And there was a part of me that felt like I'm just dust in the wind here. I mean, I know I do good things. I know I have something unique and special that I bring to wherever I go. But maybe people appreciate it, maybe they don't. But, I'll just do my best and not worry about it. But there was something in me that was not bright and shiny about it. And when my boss asked me, okay, well, what kind of, are we going to have a party? Do you want a lunch? And I was thinking, let's skip it. It's just too much trouble. I don't want to put it together. And she goes, no, we'll put it together for you. And as days went by, in my ending days at work, I got so many thank yous from my customers on the phone. Just people saying, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for hearing what I had to say. And then the rumors began to circulate that I was retiring. I hadn't made much of a big announcement. And I had calls from people from 30 years ago. Remember when we were carpool? And such a lovely lady, and you were always so cheerful, and these kinds of things. So as you may have listened to the talk from Reverend Arthur Hammonds a couple of weeks ago. He says, I'm telling you the story about me, but it's not about me. It's about you. And the way I express is, I have to tell you about me because I experience it through me. And then I get to share my inspiration with you. So the story here is that I began to accept the thanks that people were sharing and showering. And really what I realized, that little vortex thing in my heart started opening, and I realized I had been closed off. I had been protecting myself, shielding myself, thinking maybe I'm not worth love, or maybe people won't love me, and so it just kind of shielded off and be neutral. But it was very risky to open and to receive the love. And people were thanking me because they loved me. And when we thank the people around us, and when we accept the thank yous and the gratitude from people. We are being part of that flow of love. This is powerful. It's powerful. We can ignore it, but why ignore it? Because it's kind of uncomfortable when the heart opens, but when it opens, wow, it's everywhere. And we become part of the tree of life instead of the little leaf withering on the vine. We become part of the tree of life that is feeding this love, this thanksgiving into life. It's very important that we do this. It's part of why we're here, I think. Remember the phrase to love and be loved. Part of loving and being loved is giving thanks and accepting thanks. And the other thing I want to share is my last working day, and of course I was supposed to be cleaning my desk, but no, I was working, I was answering the phones, and giving all my love out to the customers, and I was getting a lot of love back from the customers. My manager had us do our staff meeting outside in the courtyard. And I thought, well, it would probably be a little something with me because it is my last working day. We all know it's my last working day. And it turned out to be, you could say, a gratitude circle. You could say, I called it a love fest. And every person in my office just had wonderful words to tell me how much they appreciated me, the special qualities that they appreciate, the things that perhaps they had learned from me, how I contributed to their growth and expertise. I kind of knew that was my MO, that was my way I operated. I helped people around me, and I really try to inspire people. But it was quite a wonderful thing to just open my heart and receive. And one of my coworkers was crying. And what was interesting is though my ears got wet, I didn't feel like that overwhelming crying because my heart had opened enough to take it in. I just stood up and went there and hugged her. And I just felt this joyous connection. And it wasn't about me, even though it was about me. It was about the connection. And that's the power of giving thanks, is the connection to source, the connection to the source we are with each other. And let me tell you, it was so healing. And then it was easy. It was easy to finish cleaning my desk. The day after my last day, that's when I finally filed my retirement papers. I had been struggling with it. I had trouble with the computer, couldn't find everything I needed. And then the next day, I was able to file my retirement papers, for the end of the year and running out my leave balances. Why? Because I was ready, because my heart was open. And this cycle is beautiful, and it's scary. So giving thanks makes shift happen. It helps us to shift up. One more thing I want to share with you about giving thanks is the incredible healing part of giving thanks. We are in November, right, at the time of this talk. This is the fall. The days are shorter, the nights are longer. I think of this more as the moon time. We're approaching the moon time. And that's the hidden things, the shadow side. We start giving thanks for our doubts. Giving thanks for the old wounds, the old pains, the old fears, if that's there, if they come up. Allowing the space, if they come, to give thanks for the things that we've learned. Maybe they've been hard lessons, but we've learned them and we've been able to share them. Give thanks for the pieces of our heart that we've given away and have come back to us, and being the richer for it. Many of us are we are more well-seasoned than others. I'm talking about physical age. How wonderful it is. And in this season of the year, the power of giving thanks can also allow us to go deeper in, some people call it the shadow side, which is a point of power. And like I felt in my workplace, where I finally realized, oh, I had been closed off. You know, so I wasn't at my full radiance, so to speak. You know, I was a little bit off the limb, a little bit trying to make it work on my own, but being connected to that tree of life and being connected to everything is giving thanks, connecting to love, and shifting up. That's for all of us. Thank you.